Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're gonna work on mixtures. Okay, what is a mixture? So a mixture is basically when you combine two or more substances put together. Okay, as long as you have two or more, then you technically have a mixture. Okay, in a little bit we're gonna do an experiment on how we combine those mixtures and then how we can separate them and why can we separate them so easily. Okay, so let's get to it, guys. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is a mixture doesn't have to be or cannot be the same substance. In this case, we have washers right here. Okay, all these washers are made out of the same material, or at least that's what we think, right? So the only one way to find out is if I use this magnet. Okay, we can find out if the property of these washers are all the same. So what would be a good property that they have in common? So you notice I have a magnet. So now, very good. We're gonna test to see if these guys are magnetic or not, okay? So if I place it here, I notice that they're all magnetic, okay? And they're all magnetic because they all stick to the magnet, okay? Very good. Now, just because they are all magnetic, okay, doesn't mean that so because they are the same substance, this is not a mixture, okay? We don't have a mixture yet, okay? A mixture is when you have two or more different things. So in this case, they're all the same, okay? It's like if I have two glasses of water, okay? They're made from the same material, in this case, water. For example, here I have water. They're both the same. They're just different amounts, okay? It's still the same substance, water and water. And when I mix it together, it just stays as water. So there's really no mixture going on here. So this is not a mixture, guys. Same thing here with my washers. This is not a mixture, okay? Now, if I add more washers, in this case, we don't have a mixture, okay? Unless some of the properties in these washers are different. Let's see. All right, so some of the washers are not sticking to my magnet, okay? Let me remove these and show you what I mean, okay? So when I try to stick my magnet on there, okay, they do not stick to the magnet. What does that mean? When I do these, they do stick quickly. So these washers have a different property than these right here. And that would be considered a mixture. In this case, when I mix them together, some are magnetic and some are not magnetic. And that is considered a mixture, okay? The property didn't change. So when I mix them together, the ones that were not magnetic all of a sudden became magnetic. No, that's not true. I can still separate the ones that are not magnetic. As you can see, I have them over here from the ones that are magnetic on this side. Okay. So what does that mean to you? Okay. Think about it. Mixture or not? When I put these together. Yes, they are. Put them together, that is a mixture because some of them are magnetic and some are not. So I'm able to separate them easily. Okay, so I do have another mixture that I want to work with, okay? And I have a container here with a mixture of more washers, some steel pellets, some rocks, and some plastic green pellets. I don't know if you can see them there, okay? So I'm gonna use some tools to separate these, okay? So the first tool that I'm gonna use is a sieve, okay? Notice that this sieve right here has the gaps a little bit bigger than this one right here. So I can use these two different sizes to separate things. So I'm gonna put one on top of the other so that whatever is big is gonna stay on top. And whatever is smaller is gonna go and stay in the middle, and then whatever is tiny or extra small is gonna go all the way down. Okay, so let me take out one individual item at a time so that you know how do they look and what are they made out of, okay? And then I'm just need to get, so you seen the washers already? So we already have the washers going, which is this one. We have a magnetic washer and a non-magnetic washer, okay? So there's two different kinds. It's really hard to tell unless you use a magnet, okay? I have a steel, like a little steel ball, tiny steel ball. I have, this is pebbles, which is like a rock, a tiny rock. And I have plastic pellets, okay? It's made out of plastic, and again, it's tiny. So the sizes are a little bit different. The shapes are different. Maybe the texture, and then also maybe the magnetism is probably also different. Okay, so we're gonna separate them based on their properties. Okay, and like I said, I'm gonna do the big one first so that we can separate all the big stuff from the little stuff. So right here I have, all I have to do is shake a little bit, and when I shake, the big items stay on top, as you can see. Okay, so I have all the washers that stayed on top are separate now. Now I can further separate these by using a magnet. Remember, some of them are magnetic and some are not. So when I pass my magnet through, the ones that are magnetic are gonna be stuck to my magnet, and the ones that are not are gonna stay separate. Okay, so I'm gonna separate my washers, and then my magnetic washers versus my non-magnetic washers. Okay, so I have two groups already. But right here, let's see, right here. And then non-magnetic, magnetic. Okay, I'm left with these items right here. Okay, some pebbles, some steel balls, some rocks, which are the pebbles, and then the little plastic beads. Let's shake this, let's give it a shake and see if some of the items fall into the smaller gaps of this seed. Okay, so as you can see, as I'm shaking, some of the items are falling off, okay, which is the plastic, green plastic pellets, okay? They are kind of tiny, and because of that, they fall down easily. And guess what? Do I have to apply a lot of work? No, I don't, okay? Notice that all I have to do is pick maybe one more off because I know that one's different than the rest, and that's about it. I've separated my green pellets by themselves. I have my magnetic steel washers and my non-magnetic washers. Now I am left with pebbles and the BBs. So what can I do? Can I put them in a bigger sieve? Would that work? No, that wouldn't work, right? Because guess what? They both went through here, okay? Can I try putting them maybe in water? Because you can also test for density. So I'm gonna try putting them in water, because if I try to put them in water, maybe some of them sink and some of them float, okay? So I'm gonna see if that's gonna help out. Oops, okay. So I'm gonna drop them in the water, and I'm gonna see if I can separate them by using density. And as you can see, or maybe you cannot, okay? They're all sinking. The metal or the steel balls and the rocks are both sinking. So that's not a good idea that I did. I'm gonna go ahead and drip the water out, or drain the water out. And because they're not, some of them are, they're both dense. They're both more dense than water. So I cannot use that method, okay? What is one substance, if I had a different substance here, which one would it be so that I can use water or density as my way to separate my substance? Yeah, wood. Very good. If I have wood or smaller pieces of wood, if I was to put it in water, the wood would the wood would float. Because the wood floats, I'm easily able to grab them from top of the water and they get separated to the compared to the other parts, okay? The wood floats and the other items sink, and then that is separated by water. So that's a pretty easy way to separate items using density, okay? All right, so this time I'm gonna go back to my magnet. I know I already used my magnet once, but this time I'm not gonna separate my washers because they're already separate. I'm actually gonna separate the beads because I know they're made out of steel. Because they're made out of steel, maybe they're magnetic. Okay, let's see. So I'm gonna put my magnet in there. And guess what? I separated my metal beads from my pebbles. So I'm now left with my pebbles by themselves, my metal beads, okay, or steel beads. Then I have my, not a good idea. I'll just keep them in the magnet so that we can see them. Okay, so my metal beads, my plastic pellets, my pebbles, and then my magnetic washers, which are these right here, and my non-magnetic washers, which are these over here. So I'm able to separate it into each individual substance, and that was pretty easy using my tools. Now, are these the only tools that I have? No, I can use other tools depending on what substance I'm separating. For example, I can use a filter, like whenever you're trying to separate coffee from water, like the grains of coffee, the coffee filter would be a great idea. What are some other things that you guys think will separate? All right, guys, so that's pretty much it. I will come back for another video if you guys are gonna do solution, okay? Remember, solution is also a mixture, but it's a special mixture, okay? And we'll talk about that on the next video, guys, so stay tuned. All right, see you guys next time. Bye-bye.